I'm sorry, but you can't have an iPad. Okay,
As parents, we already know it. Excessive screen time, excessive emotion. But what if it's much worse than that?
Can you see the screen all right?
This is 5-year-old Rose. She was one of 60 kids to undergo an exhaustive study in the US, using an MRI machine to scan the brains of kids aged 3 to 5 years old. The results, truly shocking. Interactive screen time causes a loss of white matter in the brain.
Well, in the simplest terms, we could actually refer to as some measure of brain impairment or brain damage.
Professor Mike Nagel from the University of the Sunshine Coast has spent a career studying child brain development.
So white matter in the brain is a material called myelin. So what myelin does is it wraps around the axons of neurons and acts like an insulator, a conductor, not too dissimilar to the plastic coating of a wire. So if we're seeing deficits in myelin production early in life, we're probably seeing deficits in neural connectivity.
The study shows the more screen time a child is exposed to, the greater the loss of white matter. Can you remember your first reaction to those results, not only as a professional in this field, but as a father?
My gut reaction was, wow, I was not anticipating seeing anything like that. It hadn't occurred to me at the time that something as little as, and it said 2 hours a day, was having such a profound effect on the white matter associated with sort of language development. And by association, literacy, it was a shock, to be honest.
He also believes big data backs it up. In 2010, smartphones became mainstream and affordable. Apps and social media exploded. So now we can track the impact. Psychological distress in our teenagers has skyrocketed. And look at the dates. It's all after the 2010 smartphone revolution. Mental illness through the roof. Hospitalizations for mental health, girls up 81%. Self-harm, huge increases for kids aged 10 to 12. The percentage of children sleeping less than 7 hours a night, look at that, all since 2010. The only graph that goes down. The time kids spend with their friends face to face.
What is your fear if we don't address it?
The fear is just losing a generation of kids, just kids growing up not meeting their potential, the continued rise in self-harm and body image disorder, anorexia, bulimia.
Smoking causes mouth cancer.
The professor believes screen time will be what smoking was to a previous generation.
For decades, we pretended like smoking, everyone kind of knew that it was probably harmful, but the industry pushed back and said, no, it's not. I think the same thing is going to come down the road for devices, but I think we are at risk of really having a lot of kids and a whole generation that's going to struggle unnecessarily.